The bell in the basement. They say every small town has secrets, things whispered between generations, warnings passed off as folklore to keep the curious away. But in the town of Millbrook, the secret isn't buried, it's ringing. And the bell in the basement never should have rung again. When my great-aunt Eloise passed away, I didn't expect to inherit anything. She was the kind of woman who kept to herself, the town's resident recluse, living in a sprawling Victorian house on the edge of Millbrook, a place swallowed by fog and rot. The lawyer's letter was brief. The house was mine. No strings attached, no catch, except one handwritten note from Eloise herself. Never open the door to the basement. Let the bell rest. If it rings, run. I laughed when I read it. A bell in the basement? Sounded like a bad Gothic novel. But from the moment I stepped into that house, the laughter stopped. The air was heavier inside, thick like syrup. The wood creaked with every breath of wind. Even the wallpaper seemed to peel in slow motion like it was trying to escape. Still, I moved in. I told myself it was temporary, just long enough to sell the place. And then the first night came. I hadn't even unpacked yet. The electricity was flaky, so I lit a few candles and read by the fireplace. Around midnight, the house seemed to exhale. The creak stopped. The wind fell silent. And from below, I heard it. Ding! A single bell chime, muffled, hollow. It came from the floor beneath me from the basement. At first I froze. And then I laughed nervously. Maybe an old plumbing pipe. Maybe a rat knocked something over. I didn't sleep that night. In the morning, I looked for the basement door. There wasn't one. Not a visible one, anyway. It took hours of tapping walls, pulling rugs aside, checking behind bookcases until I found it. A narrow wooden panel in the floor of the pantry. Padlock with thick iron loops, stained with something dark. It hadn't been opened in years. The dust was undisturbed, so how did the bell ring? That night, it rang again. Ding, 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 3 times. By the 3rd day, I was unraveling. I called a locksmith, pretending I lost a key to a storage room. When he arrived, he barely touched the lock before backing away. "This ain't right," he muttered. "This iron, it's not rust, it's scorched." He refused to touch it again. Didn't even ask to be paid, just got off his van and rode off. I started hearing other things, whispers from vents, soft crying behind the walls, and the mirror in the hallway started changing. At night, I'd see her, a little girl, maybe 10 years old, pale as porcelain, dressed in black, eyes wide and unblinking. She didn't move, just stared. She wasn't in the room, only in the mirror. One night, she lifted her hand and pointed down toward the floor, toward the basement. I tried to leave. I packed a bag, drove until the fog swallowed the road. Somewhere outside town, I stopped for gas. The attendant was an old man with a face like tree bark. When I told him where I was staying, his expression changed. "You're in Eloise's house?" I nodded. He stared at me and asked quietly, "Has it rung yet?" My blood went cold. He told me the story then, the one no one in Millbrook dared say out loud. Years ago, Eloise had a sister, a twin. They were orphans left in that house by a mother who vanished in the woods. No one knows what happened, but one day, one of the twins disappeared. The basement was sealed, and Eloise was never the same. "They said she made a deal," the man whispered. "One twin for another, one soul to keep the bell quiet." I asked him why a bell. "To warn us," he said. to tell us the thing below is stirring. When I returned, the pantry was open. The padlock lay on the floor, split in two like brittle candy. The trapdoor was ajar, and cold air flowed from it. Air that smelled of earth, rot, and something older. I called out, but my voice sounded swallowed, like the house was listening. And then the bell rang. Ding, 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 ding. 5 times. I descended. The stairs were stone, damp. There were no lights, only a dull red glow from somewhere deep below. The walls pulsed like they were breathing. And at the very bottom was the bell. It wasn't small, it was massive. 6 feet tall, black as tar, covered in carvings that hurt to look at, and chained to it, her skin pale, her eyes wide, was the girl from the mirror. She looked up at me and whispered, "You're late." Her voice echoed, not just in the air, but in my head. She said I had to take her place, that the bell needed a keeper, that Aunt Louise had lied. The bell wasn't a warning. It was a seal, and something behind it was trying to come through. "It chose you," she said. "Blood calls to blood." I ran. God help me. I ran up the stairs out of the house into the night. I didn't stop until dawn. When I returned, the house was silent. The trap door was closed. The padlock was whole again. But that night, in the mirror, she was back, smiling, and the bell began to ring once every night, closer, louder. I haven't left the house since. I can't. I dream of the stairs, of the red glow, of the thing behind the bell, waiting, watching, whispering my name. One day it will ring 10 times, and when it does, don't come looking for me. Don't open the door. And whatever you do, don't answer the bell. The end. I hope you guys enjoyed another story for my October Fright month in October. I don't like basements, y'all. We have a crawl space, and the actual hatch is in our pantry. So this story really creeps me out, and it literally has one of those hooks that it's a round, latch that you it's just like this one. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, you guys take care. Loves.